On today's video, Jadwiga and Xiang Yu are out in Rise of Kingdoms. The two new cavalry commanders are out. We're going to go over them. We've talked about the leak of them in the past. Now we'll confirm how the commanders look like. And this video also contains a message to Lilith Games themselves because you guys did a little bit of an injustice. And I will be sending this to Leo. Hopefully, they'll make things right. So sit back, slap a like on the video, and let's go. Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to Gekko Gaming. First and foremost, I appreciate every single one of you who has been supporting this channel throughout the later, I've been a little bit up and down with my content. My motivation was down. I was a little sick, all that good stuff or bad stuff. And you guys still sticking around with the channel. I appreciate all of you who are sharing videos, dropping likes on this. And of course, new subscribers joining the channel. Welcome. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content and I can earn your subscription. We're going to start from the end though. And that is a message to Lilith Games. And specifically, Rusty Leo, I am sending this to you, my friend, and I hope you listen to what I have to say. When the whole change of the Wheel of Fortune and Mightiest Governor happened, it was an interesting take, right? You guys created a system in which Mightiest Governor is now a Mightiest Governor, and Wheel of Fortune is choose them so long as you are in Season of Conquest. When that change was implemented into the game, the two archer commanders had just been released, and there was maybe 2 cycles of them, of the 4 total cycles at the time, of these commanders to the top kingdoms, the beginning kingdoms only. When you guys created the wheel choose them system, you essentially reset the cycles mid-archer cycle. Well, it was mid-archer cycle for, well, almost archer cycle for us. It was as Trajan and Moctezuma came out for the older kingdoms. But you allowed the older kingdoms to have a full archer cycle. They started doing Trajan and whatnot, and then you reset it back to cavalry. When you reset it back to cavalry, it was pretty much the time when the second batch of kingdoms were able to finally get their hands on Nebuchadnezzar and whatnot. In reality, there were probably 4 or 5 batches of kingdoms that were in Season of Conquest that hadn't had the opportunity to even see Nebu or any other of the commanders that had come out recently. More specifically, the kingdoms like in the 700s that just came into Season of Conquest hadn't even probably had Herald out just yet. And so with all this being said, when you reset the system into being cavalry so everybody has the same cycle, it sucked for people who didn't get the opportunity to get the latest and greatest, most OP war commanders, both for KVK and against Zenobia and for Ark of Osiris against Zenobia, and you reset the cycle. We bit the bullet and understood. But now, on top of resetting the cycle, you are introducing new commanders into the Archer cycle, which was the last cycle before every kingdom within the Season of Conquest had the opportunity to get every commander available. What you created here is you created a situation in which the kingdoms that had the opportunity to get Nebuchadnezzar or Nebu before the whole system changed, they will more than likely go for the latest and greatest cavalry commanders. But people like myself, for example, and I'm speaking for myself and those who are after Kingdoms 400, we have a predicament. Do we go for the archer rally leader who will potentially be insanely impactful in KVK, or do we skip him altogether, go for the cavalry, which is going to be insanely good for Osiris League with cavalry garrison? Essentially, what you created here is a scenario in which there are kingdoms that have had the opportunity to get the old commanders ahead of everybody else, and you didn't leave one cycle of all the commanders before releasing new commanders. Leo, what I am asking is to take her out of the archer cycle. There is no sense in putting a cavalry commander in the archer cycle. The reason you guys are doing this is probably one of these few reasons. Number one, that's the schedule. She was supposed to come out. This is when the new commanders are supposed to come out and whatever. Option 2 is there are new civilizations or one civilization coming out. So you guys are trying to push these commanders out so that then the civilization commanders come out after. Number 3 is this is a bug and that's completely fine. But whatever happens, please at least allow all the Season of Conquest kingdoms to go through one full cycle, full cavalry choose him cycle, full infantry choose him cycle, full archer choose him cycle, and then start introducing new commanders. I am literally stuck between a hard place and a rock, because in my kingdom, I would have potentially been someone who goes for Nebu and potentially gets a top placement because I'm preparing the gear for him for many months now. But now I'm also a garrison commander. And at the same time, we have Osiris League coming up. So you're creating a situation in which it's impossible to make the choice between the two, and it's a choice that shouldn't happen. Please, you want to balance the game. You reset the cycles for a reason, so everybody's on the same page. Please allow everybody to have one cycle without new commanders and then start introducing them. What this means is literally push her back by 2 weeks. One mightiest governor, and then she's actually in the cavalry mightiest governor like she should be. Please consider this. I will absolutely want to win twice mightiest governor if I can, to get both her and him and expertise them both back to back. But you're not leaving me the choice. You're telling me you either have to get him now or her now, and then you have to wait, what, a month and a half to get it done in the middle of KVK, in the middle of Osiris League. Not cool. We have already a lack of Nebus in Osiris League because of what happened. Now we're gonna have a lack of garrison or Nebus again. And that's not only us. Everybody in Season of Conquest will be in this exact predicament, except for those who managed to grab him before the change. Now, thank you for listening. I hope you guys do the right thing and at least allow us to have one cycle of each commander, the old ones, so we can catch up and then start working on the new ones. It makes no sense to put the cavalry with the archers, and you know this. Anyway, let's go back to the theme of this video, which was the two new cavalry commanders. Now, we did indeed talk about them in the past. There were a few leaks about them and all that stuff, but now we can actually look through them really quickly and make sure that they're actually what we thought they are. Jadwiga, we know she's going to be a mightiest governor commander. She is a cavalry garrison mobility commander, which is kind of nutty. She does a direct damage factor in the Mighty of Pious. Deals direct damage factor of 900 all the way to 1500. And troops led by this commander deal 5% increased damage for 3 seconds all the way up to 20% increased damage. Remind you, damage equals attack, counterattack, skill damage. Damage is for all. Every type of damage you do, plus 20%. Oath of Loyalty, while on the map, cavalry units getting 2% increased defense, 5% increased march speed. While commander a garrison of a stronghold or your city, the cavalry gains 4% increased defense and 4% health, all the way up to 10 defense and 15 march speed, or 20% defense and 20% health. Very, very, very nice for cavalry. Although, again, the health is really, really, really useful for that garrison. Defense is all right. With extra damage plus health, whoo, nasty stuff so far, like we knew she would be. Skill damage taken is reduced by 2%, and that says bye-bye to the archers, who are primarily skill damage commanders. While commanding the garrison, the stronghold, or a city, cavalry units led by this commander deal 1% increased damage to archers, as we just said, but take 5% increased damage from infantry. And this is the point in which I think that this is not going to be the end of Nebu. And let me tell you why. Realistically, everybody's saying this is the Nebu killer. But the reality dictates we have Guan and Leo and Harold and Alex. 4 commanders. You can literally get those 4 commanders in pretty much almost any configuration to have a nasty infantry rally. Guan Leo, Guan Alex, Alex Harold, Guan Harold. Even Harold Leo works-ish, kinda. But it works. You put her on the wall, you take increased damage, which is, again, attack, counterattack, skill damage from infantry. I don't think this will kill the meta at all of the archers. I think that she is going to be nasty for Osiris League, for the quick refills, quick garrisons. But I don't know if in KVK she will be that useful, considering, you know, especially if you own the open field, or even if you don't, infantry rallies are already fairly popular. The reason Nebu's the rallies are more popular is because everybody's garrisoning with Zenobia, and Nebu is the best counter. But once you put her on the wall, what stops us from doing Guan Leo rallies, right? Especially because there's cavalry on the wall now, so that Xeno's not going to do too well with that. So I don't know if she's going to shift the meta for the rallies and stuff like that. At least in KVK, in Osiris League, she's going to be, a game changer. Troops led by this commander gain 2% increased skill damage. When they take skill damage, they gain 10% rage for 3 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 8 seconds. So your skill damage bonus actually goes up to 10%, and your rage restore goes up to 50. So you gain 150 rage restore from taking skill damage. And nasty. She's going to do so much rage regen. It's going to be hilarious. And she's going to do damage too. Troops led by this commander deal 10% for the record. Swarm her and keep skill procking on her. And she's just going to rage up. Fantastic for Osiris League again, where swarms are a thing. KVK swarming flags and things is a thing too, but you really don't want to do that with her. When she's expertise, troops led by this commander deal 10% increased damage to rallied troops. When active skill is used, damage is reduced by 10% for 4 seconds. I mean, she's just a damage buffer, debuffer, health stacker out the freaking wazoo. She's going to be great, I think, and she's going to shift the meta in Osiris League. I can tell you that much already, but I don't know about KVK. I'm in love with her. I wish I could get her in Nebu too. I'd definitely unlock her if I, in 401, get to a point where I can unlock her and expertise both of them and get the garrison ready and get the attack ready. We have legendary set ready to rock and roll for Nebu when the time comes. And we can start working on a cavalry legendary set after that, but we have an infantry legendary set on his way too. She doesn't have to be primary, for the record. You do not need to have one type of garrison. Remind you, now you're looking at a commander that can be potentially a secondary to a Zenobia with a mixed infantry cavalry rally in a garrison. And that's starting to look a little bit interesting. Potential. Not yet, but we could get there. Xiang Yu, this guy is a cavalry conquering skill commander. I like his design a lot. He's cool. He's really cool. She's also pretty dope. I really like what they did with her. The sword, the staff. She's carrying a divorce letter to someone. It's like someone's going to have to start paying for the children a little bit, although I'm not so sure she had kids. Nice. I like her design. I like her design a lot. Very cool stuff. But he is really nasty. The feathers going around, I really like him. Let's look at his skills. Obviously, Wheel of Fortune commander. His first skill deals direct damage factor. Up to 3 targets in a forward-facing fan shape. All the way up to 1700 direct damage factor. Damage dealt to each target is reduced by 25% for each additional target. Successful hit also suffers 10% reduction on defense. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, majority of these AoE skills reduce 15% and not 25%, but they also go up substantially higher. So majority of the AoE skills reduce damage by 15% per target. So keep that in mind. He is the one and only so far that I remember at least, that has a 25% reduction per target. But again, the extra 10% defense reduction for 10 seconds is really nice, all the way up to 30%. That's kind of nutty. Cavalry units led by this commander gain 20% increased attack, 3% march speed. When attacked, they have 20% chance to gain 5% march speed for 3 seconds. This effect can trigger once every 5 seconds. You can gain up to 40% cavalry march speed when getting attacked, which means you can run away like crazy if you have to, if you manage to get that extra speed. And the cavalry attack going up all the way to 40% too. Whoo. For the record, cavalry units led by this commander does not mean you have to have only cavalry units in the march. Just an FYI. It means that the cavalry folks in there will get the buff. Just a point to make sure is understood, because some commanders require only having cavalry in order for certain skills to trigger. While attacking strongholds or governor cities, troops led by this commander gain 1% extra damage all the way up to 5%. In normal attacks, have a 10% chance to deal additional direct damage factor all the way up to 400 from 200, which can be triggered at most every 3 seconds. So 5% extra damage. Add the damage buffs from the old lady if you want to put her as a secondary to him. Well, she's not that old, but you know what I'm saying. I guess she's getting divorced from him. But anyway, massive, massive damage increase with her in the back, him at the front. Nice little rally. Although, again, a garrison commander as a secondary for a rally, that's something new-ish, because technically, he is that too, right? So that's an interesting one to keep in mind. She's not necessarily only a garrison. Remember why she's a garrison commander? And, well, yeah. Fourth and final skill before the expertise for Forceful Spearhead. While on the map, active skill costs is reduced by 10 rage all the way up to 50 rage. So now the active skill goes down from 900, which is fairly low, by the way. It's going to proc quite a bit. This counters that 25%, the fact that it's a lower rage requirement, and it goes down even further to 850 for 1700 damage on the first target. That's really, really good. Troops led by this commander will gain a stack of cavalry damage plus 1% and march speed minus 10% for 10 seconds. Another stack is gained if they're being surrounded. This effect can stack up to 6 times. Remember that running away we were just talking about? If you get swarmed, you're going to have the slowest march speed alive. You might as well stand still and let them just swarm you and kill you quicker than trying to run away and just getting swarmed while moving. Because holy lord, minus 10% march speed down to minus 60% march speed. I get that you get 30% extra cavalry damage, but god damn, you're slowing down my boys. You're slowing down them calves, man. 60%? You might as well cut their legs off. I mean, just make them floating. Like, what on earth is minus 6? Oh my goodness. Well, he is an interesting commander to keep an eye on. Probably more of a rally leader than anything else. But really, really cool stuff on him. Unbeatable Warlord, a new skill if you expertise him. Troops led by this commander deal an extra 10% skill damage. Oh lord. When troops have gained rage buff for more than one turn, their skill damage is increased by 10% for 3 seconds. This effect can be triggered at most once every 5 seconds. This kind of ties these guys together, right? The rage regen we have on her for 3 seconds makes it so that this procs, and now you're getting another 10% increased skill damage on top of the 10% increased skill damage up on the top. Him primary and her secondary. Lord have mercy on the soul of anyone who shows up in front of it. The skill damage plus the damage increase on these two guys, and well, guy and lady, are just stupid strong. This is really interesting. I'm looking forward to see them on the field, see how this works out. What do you guys think about these commanders? Leave me a comment down below. Lilith, I hope you guys do the right things. I really like them. As you can see, I'm way behind on unlocking commanders, which really sucks. In the next Wheel of Fortune, I guess we'll unlock him, and at some point we'll unlock Moctezuma, and maybe he shows up too. So we'll have to do like a hybrid wheel where we get 10 of each just to unlock and then see what we do after kind of thing. It's going to be really weird, but it is what it is. Rider of History waits for us 6 times, and we definitely need the sculptures. We got commanders to expertise. I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. Appreciate you guys. You drop a like on this video, subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next Rise of Kingdoms video. Take care and have a good one. Peace.